Hello everybody, Mr. Pace. Thanks for stopping by. Special edition of Exposed. I'm sorry. I was going to do a profanity-laced video, and I thought to myself, why? Because you can't write this stuff, it writes itself, and what the board is doing writes itself. So I thought, if I go out there and use the profanity-laced tyrant or tirade, then they could use that against me and say, oh, this is the guy that's recalling us and he's off his rocker, not taking his meds, or he's unhinged. Well, you know, I thought about that. And so at the advice of somebody who's helping me along, I decided to redo the video. Hello, this is Mr. Pace for Exposed Special Edition, breaking news. This morning, basically at about 9 a.m. Mountain Time, the district sent out this, okay, which is basically alerting you to this. It's called an agenda. And on that agenda, under Section 7, it says, award bid for lift station 1 replacement, okay? And so, why is that relevant to you and me and everybody else? The board has a set of bylaws that were enacted, resolved, and put into place years ago. They were on this website, okay? And it specifically notes just exactly how a board is supposed to go over a bid as a Title 32 quasi-municipal government entity, public government, transparency. Also, under the rules, or I think it's Rule or Title 24, Open Meetings Act, okay? Because some of these things that you're about to hear are actually required by law, okay? The board is supposed to basically say, we're going to do this, we need to replace XYZ, it's going to cost $100,000, there's a certain amount, I think the cap's 60. But now, once you do that, then you have to then say, okay, well, this is what we need done, we're going to put this out to bid, and then people submit proposals, and then you go from there, okay? And then how much it's going to cost. We did that with the lift, with the wastewater treatment plant, okay? And then there was a time frame of, I don't know how much time it was 6-7 weeks or whatever it was, where they submitted, you know, their bids for the project. At the end, they opened up the bids because they were sealed, and then it was involving our engineer, a person I don't like. I just don't like the company, I don't like the person that runs it. That's my opinion. But having been here 12 years, my opinion comes with a little bit of history, okay? I was one of the only people running for public office that said, we need a new engineer. We need in-house engineering that represents us and us only. Removes the conflict of interest issue. Think you understand. Okay, so now, why the big hullabaloo? Well, one, it's about 34 to 33 hours where you got notified of this particular meeting. Well, what did all of these candidates say they didn't want to do? That's right, be like the other boards. And what did they just do? Just that. Remember when they were hiring people and firing people and contract negotiations and all that stuff, where Edward Bendelow, the lawyer for this district, told them what they could do and not do, and then you all finally found out that Edward Bendelow used to be Benjamin Green's attorney, and he's still here, and he's still doling out that legal advice that these boards are listening to? Yeah, the one that was formulating a lawsuit to sue me for everything I got over open records matters because he shut it down? Yeah, the same guy. So, what you have here is a document. So what's missing from this document? Well, the secretary's name and who signed it. Because if you're going to call a meeting, secretary's supposed to sign it. That's with all special meetings. 2, transparency. Well, how transparent is it if you give us just a little over 24 hours notice, and if that's not bad enough, right? You know me, here's the kicker. What's going to happen tomorrow night? No, you're all not going out on dates and having secret meetings in special places. No, no. A snowstorm. And just like the legislature up in Denver, they're doing it here. We're going to have high wind advisories, a bomb cyclone, red flag advisories, and everything else. So what did they do? Scheduled a meeting when, if the storm hits, no one's going to be able to get to it. How convenient is that? So where is the outcry of public comment for this? Oh, you won't get that because John likes Troy. right? And so there you go. But yet you're not applying the same adherence to rules as the other boards. So is it that you have an affinity for people breaking the law if you like them, and then if they don't listen to you, you jump on them, right? Yeah, okay. Now, as I've told everybody, we have a standard in conduct, which is the bylaws. We're not following them because you still didn't open up the bid. This hasn't been talked about in recent memory, and I went back and looked at all the documents, and now you're springing this on us, and it says award bid for lift station 1 replacement. Well, I don't know who's giving you legal advice. Apparently someone that's galactically friggin' stupid, because the law's pretty clear. You tell us what's going on, you tell us you're going to open the bids and accept proposals, and then you do the time frame, and then you do it. But why is it you guys keep doing these things, and then why is it I'm now finding out from all the people downtown and the planning departments and all of these other places and subdivisions that the same engineer that works for us, or we're working for him it looks like, is also involved in a lot of these other projects. What did I say? Conflict of interest. See folks, if it looks bad and it doesn't pass the sniff test, it probably is bad. See, Troy had a meeting with Mr. McGinn and his company before he was elected. That phone call is never going to go away. Recalls fix problems. And that's why I wanted to redo this video, because I wanted you as the community to understand. Transparency is what they ran on. They ran on it. They were screaming about it. Stinson's entire family was the ones up there screaming about how these boards were doing things backwards, or they weren't being transparent, and they were holding meetings at inopportune times, or there wasn't enough notice, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. And what are they doing now? So what comeback do you have for that, Stinson family? None. Why am I singling you out? Because you're in all the videos. The wife, the mother-in-law, you guys are right there with me bitching just like John Martin was, right? Where are you now? Yeah. Recalls work because they fix a problem, and they're ramrodding this through without following the process. Recalls fix a problem because it stops what's going on now. That's why I redid this video, because I didn't want to come across as someone you wouldn't listen to. So you can listen to the director cop with the family thing going on, or you can listen to Russell Ryder and Carl Lukens and the two ladies on the board who I'm losing faith in very quickly, and the bad legal advice they're getting from somebody, and it doesn't matter what excuse they give at this meeting. A little over 33 hours of notice isn't enough, knowing we got a snowstorm coming. So the good news is, if you get hurt and the safety of your family's jeopardized, guess who you can blame? Let's go through those names. That's Troy Stinson, Carl Lukens, Russell Ryder, right? Sherry Ringen, and last but not least, Mrs. Fisher. Folks, you're disappointing, but to say the least, you're living up to the expectations of the previous boards because you're outdoing them. Recalls sell themselves, and this is just another reason why you just shouldn't be at the table, and you're doing it to yourself. So I don't care what excuse you got, if there was a time limit issue, or you thought you could do it, or someone told you something. You've been on this board long enough to know that if this was an issue, you should have brought it up when? Earlier. See, I can get behind something if I know something's being done right, but I can't when I know it's all BS. This is a copy of an email from the ORD person, that Mrs. LePage, asking me to resubmit a core request for the check I gave him for the 4 years worth of payables. How about hell no? No, this is where I'm going to use foul language. Fuck no. Go find it. Okay? Don't come back and ask me for something that Edward Bendelow has, the district has to keep a copy of legally for the last 5 years or in 3 years subsequent to this, and tell me you can't find it. And what did I say very nicely up here? You can't find it, let me know. All I'm going to do is send you a copy of what I asked for when it was sent. There's no time limit. I've already given you the money. Why did you wait so long to send this out? The meeting was when? Yeah, last month. See, folks, that's the problem with Woodman Hills, okay? And just so we're clear on something, when we hire people and we give them a contract, how come is it this board, very specifically, certain directors on this board don't want you to know how much they make, what their compensations go, what their parachute's going to be, or even their real name? This applies to the Director of Administration, Mrs. Hawkins, which I don't even know if that's your real name. Troy kind of let the cat out of the bag at the last meeting because I was paying attention. Okay, folks? I'm Mr. Pace. See, I'm about transparency, and I'm not even an elected official. Could you imagine what would have happened if I was actually on the board? This wouldn't be happening. But I'm sure John Martin will be the first one to jump up there and start opening up his pie hole because he's Troy's buddy. Okay? I don't know what's in the water either, but these folks are drinking Kool-Aid by the gallon. I'm Mr. Pace. Okay? And if you think this is a way to run this district, then everything that happens to you, you earned it and deserve it. But if it isn't, then speak up, folks, because if you don't, you deserve everything they do to you. Because believe me, if they could do it, they will. And this is just more proof in the pudding that there's a recall needed to fix this district. And I'm going to be the one doing it. The question is, will it be 1 or 5? That's it. Okay? Remember, recordings, videos, and discussions made claiming you're all going to be different than the other boards is proof, as icing on the cake, that you flat up lied to everybody just to get a vote. Have a nice day, folks. Remember, I'm transparent, and I'm not even an elected official. So what are they hiding? I know what it is. I just want them to tell you.